Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you Game 2 in a best of 3 matchup between Dragon and StarCraft. Game 2 happens to be on Steps of War. Game 1 was on Lost Temple, and I'm not gonna let you know what happens in Game 1, so yeah, don't know what to say. I don't want to spoil it for anyone out there. Anyways, back over to here, we have Mondragon spawning as the orange Zerg player on the bottom left-hand side. Meanwhile, we have StarCraft spawning on the top right-hand side as the blue Terran. So it's going to be another Terran versus Zerg matchup. Both players pretty much opening with a standard build, nothing too out of the ordinary yet, no really early gas. However, StarCraft has not built a supply depot yet, and has not built a barracks yet, and will be supply locked right now. So a little curious on what exactly this strategy is. Is he going for 11 barracks before anything else? And that is definitely strange and out of the ordinary, going for an early gas as well. So barracks, gas, and then supply depot, that would be the strangest opening that I've seen in quite some time. In comes a drone trying to take down that SCV as he's doing all that hard work, and that drone now just hovering away, just trying to run around that map without really taking too much damage. Now StarCraft still supply locked, and finally getting that supply depot on that back side of that base. So finally able to produce some additional SCVs. A little bit curious on why he really went for that particular opening. I've seen different openings, and I guess better openings. Perhaps he's just trying to still experiment with that opening, but really losing all of that SCV production would definitely hurt for some time. Already Dragon sitting on 14 harvesters against StarCraft's 12, especially considering that he already lost some harvesters to a single extractor and a single spawning pool, so that is a definitely behind. Also, no orbital command yet, so StarCraft is going to be behind on minerals for a little bit of time longer, finally upgrading to that orbital command, as that drone finally making its way on out. So perhaps Dragon saw everything that he needed to see, saw that there was in fact a tech lab on that barracks, so that it's not going to be an early Thor. However, it looks to be early Reapers. So this is StarCraft's Reaper rush, going for those Reapers, trying to move on out with those Reapers as quickly as possible. Roach Warren, however, already being produced, so that Roach is going to be an absolute headache against that Reaper, as that Reaper will only be doing essentially 6 damage in attack against a Roach, as that Roach has 1 armor, and the base damage of a Reaper is, I believe, 4 times 2. So now in comes that Queen gonna try to do a little bit of slashing against that Reaper. Reaper has a range of 4.5, while the Queen has a range of, I believe, 3. Yeah, range of 3. So the Reaper should be able to get in a hit and then move if it is microed absolutely perfectly. But we do in fact have a bunker on the low side, so now 2 Reapers coming in, and 1 Reaper, perhaps we're going to have splitting up these Reapers. So 1 Reaper to the north, 1 Reaper to the south, and then trying to take down some of these units. But however, 2 Roaches already out, and that Reaper most likely able to escape, as those Roaches are no longer moving on that creep. Reaper's going to go ahead and jump into that single bunker. However, there is a Reaper on that back, continuing the chase, continuing to try to focus down some of those drones. However, will get some acid in the back, and there it goes. So 1 Reaper taken down at the cost, I believe, 1 drone. So both sides losing a couple units, 4 units lost for one side, and now salvaging that bunker, as those Roaches would be able to quickly take down that Reaper, and StarCraft losing a lot of units very early on with a fairly ineffective Reaper harassment. We do in fact have a factory up on this front door as well, and this is a much more common scene recently in terms of Terran. Terran players no longer able to use supply depots in order to wall off their front doors, as against Zerg, as Zerg is able to use those baneling nests, and just like 3 banelings plus a couple of Zerglings are able to just overrun a front door if it's just guarded by supply depots. So that's really what's happening there. Back outside the base, Mondragon now getting a hatchery at his natural expansion. 6 Roaches and a single Overlord overhead, offering a little bit of sight to any cliffs that may be nearby. Hatchery upgrading to tier 2 for Zerg, and now we have a single Roach Warren and getting some additional gas. So trying to figure out what the strategy is going to be. StarCraft going for double starports, most likely producing Banshees. Yeah, Banshees now being produced with the double starport. Those Banshees going to be a very, very good counter to those Roaches, as those Roaches obviously cannot hit air, and the high rate of attack on those Banshees really just rips through mineral lines. We'll see if we're going to get some Mutalisks or even perhaps some Hydralisks in order to counteract this. Mondragon now also getting an evolution chamber. We'll see if he builds some spore crawlers as well in order to be able to push back some of those Banshees. Layer tier 2 finally up and running, and taking a look back over here, what are we building? We are now building a Hydralisk den. So Hydralisk now being produced in order to try to counteract those Banshees. However, one Banshee already out, second Banshee gonna join the party very soon and researching that cloaking ability. So if there are no Overseers or Spore Crawlers, that may be a definite blow to be dealt. Banshee making a way across the field. Banshee's moving fairly slowly for an air unit, nothing like the speed of a Phoenix, and now Banshee gonna come in and trying to take down that Roach. Roach taking a fair amount of damage, and now we have Spore Crawlers being produced. Double Banshee gonna be able to take down that Spore Crawler very easily. And wait, is he gonna take it down? It looks like he didn't want to take it down for some time. Now we have a Queen coming in, so focus firing that single Banshee. One of those Banshees gonna get taken down very, very easily, down to 14 hit points. So two Banshees now being pushed back away, as those two Queens were able to really push back that Banshee. So Banshee harassment not nearly as effective as StarCraft really wanted it to be. SCVs now on the move, command center now lifted up. Perhaps those SCVs are going to come in and try to repair some of those Banshees, as two additional Banshees once again joining in on this fight. Single Spore Crawler dealing 15 damage to air. I do not know the attack speed on a Spore Crawler. I would assume that it's a little bit faster than a turret. However, the turret does fire 2 at a time, and in comes that cloak, but still able to shoot it down, as even though those units were cloaked, the detector on that Spore Crawler able to see those units. So now those Banshees up in the air trying to focus down those units, trying to keep its distance away from that single Spore Crawler. Do we have any Spore Crawlers over here? No Spore Crawlers in the base, so only the Overseer will in fact be able to catch sight. Queen down to 44 hit points, and down it goes, and in comes this fight. We do in fact have that Overseer now coming in, trying to focus down those Hydralisks first. One Hydralisk getting taken down, one Banshee getting taken down, so a war of attrition on both sides. But that Overseer comes to the party just a little bit late, and now these Banshees able to just come in and deal more damage. Hydralisk once again able to try to chase down that Banshee, however that Banshee able to escape as the creep ended just in time. Spore Crawler already up and running, so we'll be able to shoot, I guess, what are those, Spore Colonies? Or, I guess the Spore Crawler's attack is Spore Crawler. How unimaginative. That doesn't really make any sense. Alright, back over here, the Hydralisk Den, yeah, Needle Spines, and we getting gas up and running on both sides as we're transferring some SCVs as well. Single Banshee perhaps going to get repaired, and where are the rest of those Banshees that I saw earlier? Are they already taken out? Oh, those Banshees were taken down earlier, perhaps over here as well. And no kills there, and no kills there. So I do not know what happened to that single Banshee, or those two Banshees that were low hit point over here and getting repaired earlier. Command center now being upgraded to an orbital command. Changeling quickly getting killed. So Marauder keeping track of that Changeling, making sure that it does not offer any sight for Nidus networks. Now Vikings being produced, so Vikings perhaps being produced, those tech labs still staying on, so perhaps StarCraft wants to produce some Ravens as well, building supply depots on that back of the base, and gonna drop another Changeling. However, a Viking quickly showing up, joining the party, and that poor Overseer down to 123 hit points. That Viking now chasing an Overseer down to 43 hit points, should get taken down to 8, and there it goes. So poor Overseer getting splattered over there. However, we do have a couple Overseers still around that map. Banshees once again on the move, and those two Vikings going to be able to make short work of that Overlord, as that Overlord does not have the speed upgrade, and once again it's going to splatter and just have its debris falling into that ravine over there. Banshee going to go ahead and continue to creep or just look around that map. We have a Changeling now coming in. So a single Changeling walking onto the inside of that base. Dragon or StarCraft not noticing that Changeling just quite yet, and that Changeling just sitting there. More Changelings being produced. Is that an additional Changeling? No? Oh, that one changeling getting killed right there as that changeling once again moving around, not getting noticed, sitting next to those marauders. Banshees and the Vikings going Overlord hunting, not really able to spot too much. Stay tuned for part 2 of this replay between Dragon and StarCraft here on Steps of War.